Hello and welcome to another session for Build Your Own Virtual Stage Summit. My name is Ana Andrea, your host, and today I have a special speaker that's an expert on marketing. She is a lead generation specialist at KRD Marketing, and she helps online coaches and mentors explode their audiences so that they can sell and fill their online courses and programs and get coaching clients. And she's also a military spouse. Her husband serves in the United States Marine Corps. Thank you so much for being here. Her name is Kristen Robinson. And thank you for being here. And today I brought her in because we're going to talk about something very important. I've been seeing on Facebook the comments of why people are not doing virtual events, especially summits that involve speakers or live events that involve speakers. It's because they feel like collaborating with other experts, it's like herding cats. If you feel that way, we're gonna help you keep calm today, I promise, because that's what we're gonna be talking about. So Kirsten, tell us how you got started and let's dive right into this topic.
So how to get started in business, or how did I start with collaboration?
Yeah, how do you got started on business in general, and why you chose virtual events to promote your business?
So how I got started, very simple reason. My husband's in the Marine Corps and we move every 3 years. We've been everywhere, Hawaii, New Orleans, and all the places. And when I first started my business, it just didn't click that, hey, we move every 3 years. So I started my business as an agency. Right. I did logos and everything for the local people in North Carolina, in Jacksonville, North Carolina, of all places. And my husband got orders to Hawaii, right? Yay, Hawaii. But when I moved, I lost 90% of my clients because I wasn't local anymore. So that's when it clicked like, oh, wow. So this whole moving thing is for real. And I should probably have an online business that I could take anywhere where people don't really care where I work anywhere in the world. And that's got me started actually for my online business. As far as doing virtual events, I love collaborating. I love, that person, probably some of you probably weren't that person that liked the group projects. That was me. I loved the group projects in school. I was like, yeah, we're gonna work together. I've always liked those things. Specifically with virtual events though, in-person events. I love doing my in-person events. I love having people. You can tell I'm an extrovert, and I love having people and doing events. And of course, when I found out you can translate that to virtual, it was like, oh, this is so cool. And you can do it more often because it's virtual, right? You don't have to have all these people come to a hotel room. It's unrealistic to ask people to fly out to a hotel room every month. But virtually, you can be like, hey, click on this Zoom link or click on this AirMeet link or click on whatever, platform you want, and let's do something. And people are like, yeah, it's so much more convenient. So that's how I got into really collaboration. Was I realized that I just liked doing it. And I like doing it a lot. And so it just really became something I just really like doing with people.
Yeah, because I see. Yeah, that's so interesting. My cousin was in Hawaii stationed as well in Pearl Harbor. Yeah, so we have something in common. Well, kind of. That's awesome, Kirsten. So collaboration, right? The group projects. I know there's always the kids that hate doing the projects, right? And some that do all the work. That was me.
Right.
I would do all the work because I wouldn't let everybody do anything. That's control freak. But now, what are the benefits actually of like lowering our guard? Because being a control freak like I am and doing all the work or not doing any of the work, right? It happens in collaborations. And this is why I think people feel like collaborating with experts is like herding cats. So what are the benefits that you see right away with collaborating with experts in your business? Like what happened at the beginning that you saw the benefits and you said, okay, I'm just keeping this forever, this strategy?
So it's funny, you said you did all the work. So when we did the group projects in school, I was always the leader. I was delegating and telling people what to do. You're doing this, you're doing this, you're doing this. And of course, that means like I get nothing, right? But I'm the leader. I got to coordinate everybody. And that's kind of pretty much how it is right now. I'm looked at, and that's one of the biggest benefits off the bat for collaboration. You are seen as the leader, right? Even though it's an interesting thing. Even though you may be collaborating with other peers, you are the leader. because you're the one putting the whole thing together. So you're seen as the leader, the go-to person. And once people have that perception of you, it's hard to turn it off. So that's one of the things is like, if you're one of those people, if you do care, you do get the respect of your peers pretty easily. And it's even better when it's people who don't even really know you, because that's that perception right away of how they get to know you is, oh, this person's a leader. Okay, oh, like, and now all of a sudden, it's funny, you went from, okay, we're equals as colleagues to, no, you are here because you're the leader. So that's one of the instant benefits is that you are a leader of, you're a leader, and that's what you're seen as. The other thing is that what a lot of people don't understand is you're creating relationships. And even in business, relationships are currency, people. The more relationships and the more quality you have of them, the better off you're going to be in your business. Because what happens when you start collaborating with people, they're going to, and you do a good job, right? Keyword, you do a good job, they're going to want to come back and collaborate with you. So for example, we just hosted this 3-day virtual event called CollabCon, where it's all about collaboration. Oh my goodness. And all this, everybody was like, it was a win-win-win. It was, first of all, we had over 12 speakers, not the way you think. We had panels, right? So we had panels of people. It wasn't like a pitch-a-thon with all these speakers. We had panels where we had groups of people talking stuff, and then we had like these main stage speakers, one speaker who was talking. So, but we had 10 speakers overall, and it was this win-win-win. So I coordinated the event as a host. So of course the attendees are like, oh, you're the host. This is amazing. This is great. But my speakers were like, when's the next one? Because this was a lot of fun. And it's like, I'm sure it was. Now me and my team are like, oh my gosh, this is so much work. But it was a win-win. I think that's the thing you have to understand is that it was a win-win-win all around. The attendees were great because not only was it a great event, but the fact that they got knowledge on one topic from a lot of different perspectives because everyone is different. So that was helpful. The speakers were in love with it because they generated leads. We created a situation where all of our speakers either generated leads or they made sales at the event. Who doesn't like making sales or generating leads at an event? And of course, it was a win for me because guess what? We had all these speakers, granted we had to coordinate it, but we made money on the end too, as well for hosting that event. So you have to understand when you start collaborating with people, I mean, it's the obvious, there's lead generation that happens because we had our speakers promoted. So of course their people are coming to the event. So we had that. We had some of those people buy, yay, sales from other people that we wouldn't have gotten if they didn't participate. So you get the obvious of the leads and the sales, which is great. But at the same time, you also get one of those other things of respect from your colleagues and peers. And then you also get, like I said, the colleagues and the peers. But then it's also this thing of like, that was so much fun. Let's do this again. And now when you do something again, those people are going to drop everything and want to be a part of your project because it was so fun the last time. And so you're building that relationship, but you're also building the quality of that relationship because now they know you put on a great event, you did something awesome, it was worth it for me. And so anytime you do something next, I'm dropping everything and saying yes. And they're not only are they more enthusiastic, but guess what? They want to promote it even more because it was so great. They want even more people to know about how great their experience was, just like anything else in normal life. So I just feel like those are like the immediate benefits of what you get for being, the leader of your own collaborations.
That's so interesting that you said that because I've been saying in the sessions with other speakers is that we get the power to build our own stages. There's a lot of speakers that go around the world and offline. They used to, they can't right now, right? And they're like, where do I speak? What do I do? And how do I spread the message? And I'm like, you could build your own stage and be the leader, like you just said, like be the leader, coordinate. So tell me so the benefits are amazing. Leads, sales, who doesn't want that? Authority, right? Now, how do we find speakers that want to work with us? How do we find them, right? Where are they?
So honestly, what you really want to do is start with your own network. Who do you know? And the reason why, I mean, obviously, if you don't know anybody, that's obviously the only place you're going to start. But the thing is, what I have found is that you really want people who are going to be motivated to be a part of it. Now, don't get me wrong. At the end of the day, nobody cares about your project or your stage or anything you do more than you. No one's going to care more than you. That's just the bottom line. But let's not fill it with people who don't care. Let's go with people who still care. Like not as much as we do, but they still care. And people in your network will help you. There's something I've always said. I say this to my clients all the time about collaboration. When you are asking people to collaborate with you, one of the things that happens, and a lot of people will say this, and maybe some of you watching this right now fall into this boat of, well, I don't have an email list. I don't have a social media following to promote them to. I don't have any of those things. But you know what I have found a lot, especially within my own network? People just want to be a part of it and promote it because they believe in what I'm doing. They want to help me get the word out. And to do that makes them feel good too, because they are happy to help me. And so I think that's one thing we have to keep in perspective, is that it doesn't always have to be about an affiliate commission, or it has to be about, okay, well, I'm going to promote you so you get sales and leads. Like some people just really want to help you just because they do. Like, let's not forget the good, you know what, goodwill is still a thing in this world, right? People still want to do good things for people. And so let's keep that in mind. But the thing is, you're going to find most of those people in your network. And then also let's also forget that people in our network can make the work easier for us. So one of the things that I like to do is when I'm getting ready to do something, I'll ask my network. I'm like, hey, this is what I'm thinking about doing. Would you like to be a part of it? And 9 times out of 10, they'll say yes. Matter of fact, with CollabCon, we had 100% acceptance rate from our speakers. Everybody we asked said yes. No one said no. Just let you know how this works. But 9 times out of 10, I always get this question when I'm trying to do something and my network says yes. Hey, can I ask so-and-so if they want to be a part of it? Or, hey, can I tell my email list about this? Or, hey, have you thought about asking blah, blah, blah? I get referrals to other people who may want to be a part of it, or they want to be like, hey, can I just promote this to my list? Maybe they might know somebody, right? When we're getting speakers. And so let's not forget that our network can make this way easy on us. It doesn't have to be us doing all the work and finding all the speakers. Let's make this very easy. Let's make this group project, a group effort, and saying, okay, yeah, that's great. You can tell blah, blah, blah. Just have them contact me and see if it's a good fit. Or yeah, hey, if you want to send an email to your list about it and see if there's anyone interested, sounds good to me. Like, let's not forget that they can spread the word too. It's not just us doing this by ourselves. Mm-hmm. So that's why I'm saying start with your network first, because then we're going to get people who are very invested in the project that we're doing. But then also, let's make it easy. They might know people that we don't know, right? Let's kind of branch out of our comfort zone into our network. And then that way we're meeting new people, right? And then we're bringing them in, right, into our circle and collaborating. And then we're starting a brand new relationship with somebody else.
Yes, that happened to me for this event as well. It happens to me all the time. I'm like, I just asked them, hey, can you help me get more speakers? Do you know so-and-so? Do you have a connection with so-and-so? That's the other thing, right? Like, you can investigate their network and see if there's a speaker there that you would like to get connected to. Mm-hmm. That's asking. People forget to ask for help though. Isn't it hard though? Like asking for help? Especially for leaders like us, right? We want to do it all sometimes, like me.
That's the beauty of asking your network, is because, like I said, for me, 9 times out of 10, they ask me. I don't even ask them. They just go, hey, I love what you're doing. Can I ask? They're the ones who are volunteering themselves to go out. And that's why you want to start with your network. And if you, like you said, it's hard to ask, but that's the beauty of it is, when I asked for the initial project, like I told you, I think that's part of building such a good relationship with people. They just do it for me. I don't even have to ask. I just, hey, you want to, and of course it's comfortable asking them to be a part of it because we've done it, but then they just go on their own little program and say, I'll just help you wrangle people. And now we're not doing it all by ourselves, which is kind of what people, like you said, are fearing.
Yeah, and that takes a load of pressure off our shoulders a lot, because people just want to help. Like you said, the Good Samaritan is still a thing. There's still so many nice people around there. So talking about good experiences right now, right? What is the best collaboration story that you've ever had?
Okay. So my best one is with my business bestie, of course, right? I had no email list, and I'm trying to figure out where in my head this was a great idea. So this tells you how far along it's been. I decided to do a webinar to sell a program with no email list. Like I said, I'm not sure where that was a great idea in my head, but it sounded so great at the time. And I remember, once again, people, no email list, very small social media reach, right? And I was putting it out there on social media, putting it out there, once again, everything on me promoting it. And my business bestie, she's been my accountability partner for I think the last 7 years. And it was early in our relationship. We'd probably known each other maybe 2 or 3 months. And we just clicked though. We just knew that we were going to be business besties. We just clicked. And I remember in our accountability meeting, I was like, not crying exactly, but definitely boo-hooing. And I was like, oh my gosh, I have this webinar coming up and no one signed up. And I was trying to sell my program and it sounded so good at the time. And I'm just like, really just like almost borderline bawling like on our Skype call. And she was like, when is it? And I'm like, oh, it's, this date. And she's like, what are you talking about? And I was like, told her. She's like, do you have an opt-in page? I was like, yeah. So I sent her the link and she goes, okay. I was like, okay, what? Like, I'm trying to figure out what's the okay to what, because I didn't request anything. And she's like, oh, I'll send it to my email list. Now, here's the thing. Here's why. So I gasped and was surprised. And I have to explain why. She had an email list of 20,000 people. That was very important. So I'm like, really? You're going to send it to you? She goes, yeah, I'll just send an email to my list. Okay. So she sends an email to her list. And by golly, I got 200 people on my email list. I was like, oh my gosh. Okay. I got my first 200 people on the list. I did my webinar. I didn't sell a dang thing, but I got 200 people on my email list. I'm like, oh, this is so cool. And then she was doing her first event on stage in person. And she was like, did you even sell that program? I'm like, I didn't. She's like, oh, you want to speak at my event in Atlanta and sell your program? And I'm like, it didn't sell. Like, how is it? I'm like, what's the difference? It didn't sell. She goes, no, trust me. It's going to sell in person. It's totally different. I'm like, whatever. So I went to her event in Atlanta and sold 10 spots into that program from her stage, which gave me the confidence to go, let's try that webinar one more time, right? At this point, I had 200 people on the list. I had 10 spots. It was funny. I wanted 15 people in it. So I'm like, it was like less pressure, right? I've already sold 10 from the stage. I just need 5 people from this webinar. Okay, let's do it. I did the webinar. I didn't get my 5 spots, but I got 2. So I ended up getting 12 people to my very first ever course program, but the first, like, it really came from her. Obviously, the first 200 people on my email list, the first 10 spots into my course, and of course I kind of started, finally getting my training wheels off and started doing it on my own. But honestly, that was my very first collaboration experience. Of course, better to do it than my business bestie, but it was also how I started building my business literally with collaboration. And so that's obviously the best experience I've had.
That's an awesome story. Not everybody has a business bestie with a 10,000.
No.
I mean, my business bestie started like me with 0. And now she has a bigger list than me, but not before. That's so awesome. Now, we like to highlight all the best stuff, right? But what about the worst? Have you had flakies? Have you had, bad experience with somebody?
I wouldn't say I've had people flake with collaboration. For me, some of the worst experiences, I hate to say this, and maybe this is where we're both control freaks, but some of my worst experiences come when somebody else is running it, and I'm just like, I'm not happy. So it's funny. My worst experience was actually recently, about a few months ago. I had signed up to be in this online giveaway. They're very popular. It's funny. I'm an online giveaway host myself, so I'm very critical of other people's because I host my own all the time. And I signed up for one. It was $400, which, by the way, before you guys start going gasping out of brown paper bags, that's not the normal price. Most of the time, an online giveaway is like $97 to $150. So I paid $400 for some like extra things and extra exposure and things like that. So it's $400. Me personally, when I pay into an online giveaway, I really like for my ROI to be $1 for $1 per opt-in. So whatever I spent is how much I get. So I paid $400 for this giveaway. I expected 400 opt-ins because I feel like anything bigger than that, I might as well just have done Facebook ads at this point. Like, no offense, just rather do Facebook ads at that point. So it's $400. I was expecting 400 opt-ins. I paid extra for exposure, people. Remember, paid extra. So I'm thinking I paid extra for exposure. 400 should be no problem. Should be all good. And it was the worst thing ever. Not as far as opt-ins, but other things. Like the giveaway was going to start on a Monday, and my promotion date was the first day of the giveaway because that's where we could squeeze it in. And we didn't get swipe copy until 10:59 the night before, 10:59 p.m. Like literally the night before we get swipe copy. So I'm like, so I'm sitting there looking, going, great, my sister can't do this because she's got to work in the morning, do other things for me. Okay, I have to sit here tonight and schedule at least the first one to go out, and then she can do, the other ones. So we got swipe copy the night before. The first day of the giveaway, I don't know how this happened, but our tracking links got misplaced and misconfigured. So all the traffic I was sending on the first day didn't count towards my sending of, So I was really upset about that. And then of course the leaderboard comes out and I'm like number 6 on the leaderboard. I'm like, did you count the first day? Oh, I forgot not to count the first day. Exactly. You can't count the first day because nobody's links were working on the first day. So, because he had measured the first day on, but the thing is, he forgot that, some of us got our links mixed up so that it didn't accurately reflect on the leaderboard. So then there was that. And we got one leaderboard. So I have no idea what the final leaderboard looked like because I don't know if I won or not because they didn't send up the final leaderboard. So I'm like, okay, great. So now I don't even know who won. Okay, well, that's great. And then on top of that, to make matters worse, I only had 150 people join my email list. So I paid $400 for 150 people. So, like, yes, the opt-ins were terrible. And, that's obviously terrible. But what capped it off was just all the other things. Not getting swipe copy, responsibly. Messing up my tracking links. And the thing is, and here's the thing. I'm a very forgiving person. Like, I really am. Like, if this was someone who was doing their first online giveaway, I would have been like, you know what? Because I've done it before. I run online giveaways, like I said, all the time. I'm really critical of other people's because I host my own. And I know how hard it is to do an event like that. So I was like, if it was your first time, honestly, all could have been forgiven. And I'll be like, you know what? I'll do your next one. That's how forgiving I am. I get it. It's your first one, whatever. But this person, it wasn't their first one. This was their 5th one. So I'm like, okay, no, not forgiving. Because you've done just as many as I had. I mean, at that point, I had hosted 6 online giveaways of my own. So I've done 6, you've done 5. No offense, we're kind of on the same level. And for you to misplace my tracking links, get swipe copy to me the night before, that's kind of unforgivable at that level that you've done this before. So
absolutely, like that's rookie mistake for one time, the first time, like you said. Right. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, it happens. Sometimes people are not organized enough. They're not on top of the tech. And
yeah, it happens. I mean, for me, to kind of swing it a little positive, for me, when I think about the negative experiences I've had, and just like, let's just say participating in other people's, let's just go with just that lane there, I can really count on one hand, how bad some of those have been. Most of the time, they're pretty okay. Nothing good, but nothing bad, right? It's been okay, or they've been excellent. But the bad ones where I'm like, I will never do this again with you. I will blacklist you. I will put you on the spam list for my email inbox. I can count that on my hand. Like literally less than 5.
Okay, so that puts people at ease, right? When they're hosting their own events with the speakers, like, guys, chill, right?
Honestly, it's a rare thing when you're collaborating with people, because one of the things is, you just know that once you've been collaborating for a while and you've been in the game, you know what to look for. And that was the other thing. I try not to kick myself on that one because all the right things were there. There were testimonials from people that said that they gotten so many. All the things were, and that was the thing, was even as skilled as I was looking at the whole page and looking for any miscues or things that, any, things, red lights or anything like that. I couldn't spot any of that. So that's the thing, is when you start doing, collaboration projects with other people, you know what to look for, or you ask questions and you're like, I don't like that answer. And you normally just kind of say no from the beginning. But you will, honestly, it's one of those things you have to trust your gut. Unfortunately, I was a guinea pig and it was wrong, but 90% of the time you can spot it. Like if you really read, you can spot those mistakes and go, yeah, this probably isn't a good idea. Or just something in your gut's going to tell you, you know what? I don't like this person. I don't know why, but I don't like them. And you need to trust that. Like, I don't know why I don't like them. trust it and just be like, I just don't want to do this project. And that's honestly the things that have helped me. On my little hand right here, I've had bad collaboration experiences.
That's really good advice from both ends, right? As being a speaker and being a host, right? Being careful of all those things. Thank you for that. It's very inspiring to, and that takes me to like maybe the last question where we can wrap this up. How do we create a collaboration experience that everybody has fun? Because that's my thing. We gotta have fun, because if you don't want to be labeled on that list, right, on the hand list, or on the it was okay list, never want to have those either. How do we make it fun? What do you do to create this experience?
So the thing is, you have to understand that different things motivate different people. And so once you understand that, you want to have all those elements within your collaboration. So for example, you'll have people who care about money. Like, there needs to be an affiliate commission. I need to know what it is. Like, no offense, money's important. And trust me, I'm not exactly one of those people, but some, like, the less I know you, the more the money's important. Like, I'm gonna be real. That's just part of me. So you're gonna find that money is important to people. You're gonna find that community is important to people. How well does this benefit my community, right? Because there's some people who are like, I don't care how much it costs, but is this gonna help my people get to where they're gonna be, or else I'm not gonna tell them about it. So that's something you need to care about. Another part is some people have a lot of goodwill and philanthropy. There has to be a philanthropic effort, a part of your collaboration. And some people just don't care. They're like, wait a minute, we're donating to charity? Woohoo, I am in. And that's all people care about. So you have to think about it. There's money, there's philanthropic, and then there's community. And then you're going to have people where it's all about, connections, right? There's connections involved where they get to meet other people and connect with other people. They're a networker, right? And so you need to have that. And then finally, always, when I do my collaboration, there's always a pinch, like a pinch of cinnamon or a pinch of salt. There's a pinch of competition, because you always got to have a pinch of competition. I don't care. Not everyone is going to do that, but there are some people who like to be competitive, and they need that to be on the top of the leaderboard. They want people to see that I am bad. Like, I am bad. Look at this. Like, right? Turn on the lights. Okay. You can see all this light shining on me. Like, recognize, right? You need those people. You need a little bit of competition for those people. And so I know that sounds like a lot, but all of those things need to be wrapped into your collaboration. And I'm just going to give you an example. When I host my own online giveaways, all of those aspects are there. So we have the giving philanthropic part. So when I do my giveaways, for every person who opts in for free, because it's a free giveaway, there's no cost, but for every person who opts in, we donate 50 cents to a certain charity. And each giveaway is tied to a specific charity, right? So when we do ours in December, it's Toys for Tots for the Marine Corps. The one we're doing right now, it's 50 cents to the National Alliance of Mental Illness for people with mental illness. So every giveaway we have, 50 cents of each opting goes to a philanthropic. So we have that covered, the philanthropic part. We have the connections part. We create a Facebook group for all of our giveaway contributors so they can get to know each other, so they can make connections with each other. So we have that now. We have a little bit of competitiveness. We do have leaderboards for people. We have best gift of the giveaway, best conversion, most opt-ins, things like that, and most referrals. We have 4 contests. So there's a little bit of competition in there too. Let's see, community, all that. I forgot the rest of them, but I forgot. Oh, affiliates. So money. So the thing about money is that one's a little harder because the giveaway's free. But what we do is optional. We tell people, okay, if you would like an affiliate link, we'll track your sales and we'll give you affiliate links. And we make that optional because, once again, not all people care about the money, but some people do. And so we'll say, hey, if money's important, then hey, we'll give you an affiliate link. We'll track sales, and anyone who makes any sales, we make any sales, between 30 to 60 days after the giveaway's over, we'll give you a percentage back. And then community, right? They care about their community. So one of the things we do is that when we write our swipe copy, we make sure, like, for people to send to their email list, we make sure that, we do this in 2 ways. We write swap copy so that it literally helps people understand when I sign up for this giveaway, this is what it's going to do, and this is what it's going to do and how it helps. But we also have an invitation page when people sign up for our giveaways. We're very, very specific about how this helps your people. This is the name of the giveaway. Like ours is called, the next one we're calling is the Be Your Own Boss giveaway. It helps people be their own boss and step it up and actually run their business like a business. Here's how it helps your community. We're going to have these types of free gifts available in the giveaway that your people can sign up for free to help them with the problems that they have in stepping up and being their own boss in their business. And so that helps the people. We're like, okay, how does this benefit my community? So literally when we do a collaboration event, specifically, like I said, with our giveaways, it covers every aspect of those things I just said, so that literally no matter where you are on this collaboration spectrum, we got you covered on what's important to you. And so that makes it really hard to say yes, because we've covered all the things. Whoever you are, we've covered it all. And so most people say yes. And with our online giveaways, we actually have, and this, of course, that attributes to a great experience. And it's one of the reasons why I'm so proud of our giveaways that we've done. Like I said, this will be, I think, the 7th or 8th one, but we have a 50 to 60% return rate, meaning half the people come back for the next one. Not come back later, come back the very next one 3 months later. We have half of them come back automatically. So when you create positive experiences, like I said, lining out all the things that matter to people and the different things that matter to people, you create this positive experience, and then they want to come back and collaborate with you because you got, it's funny. People say, Kristen, you got me. Like this charity thing, I don't even know how you did. And it's like, no, that's just kind of how you are. And we've designed it for different people so that they feel like we get them. We know what's important to them. And they know that we care about that, because that's part of collaboration. We care about the thing that they care about. And they know that. And that makes us great collaboration partners and makes them want to come back.
Wow. That's so good. I'm like taking notes. I'm taking like mental notes, of course. So you have a gift, right, for the audience today. Tell us more about it and how they can connect with you and join that next giveaway too.
So basically it's charitymarketing.com collaborate free gift. That is the thing. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you 3 ways that you can collaborate with people if you have no email list or small email list. Because talking to people about collaboration, that's what holds them back. It's not, I don't have an idea. It's not, I don't know what I want to do. And most of the time, you know exactly what you want to do. But you feel like you don't have the email list to showcase people, or I don't have the social media to pull this whole thing off and get exposure for everybody. And so I really want to give you the gift of, let me give you some ideas, no matter, let me give you some, how we say, containers. Maybe you have the idea, but let's give you a container to put that idea in that will work best with if you having no email list or a small email list, so that it'll generate leads for you. You can start your collaboration project. That way it's easy for you to ask people to do this thing with you. And everyone wins all around, and you actually feel comfortable actually doing something, having a small email list or no email list.
Thank you so much. That's going to be super helpful. Everybody, I'm going to link the link below in the comments, in the chat, in a button. I'm going to send it on the email. It's going to be everywhere, or just ask my bot in the page as well. On my fan page, you could go to Irresistible Latina AA and just send a message and we'll send it to you too. So, or reply to any of the emails. So thank you so much for being here, Kristen. And tell them in the website, you're going to put your information, right? So they can follow you.
Oh, so the best way to follow me is actually on Facebook on our page. And we actually have a free Facebook group, the Lead Generation Made Easy community. I do trainings in there, obviously on lead generation, in our community as well. So that's honestly the best place to really, not only just like, because I really like talking to people. Like, you're gonna find that weird. I like talking to people. So I'm not really like, oh, like my page or follow me on Instagram, because I feel like that's kind of like a one-sided conversation. So we have our group to where people can obviously collaborate with each other and talk with each other on things. That happens actually in our Facebook group quite frequently. But also, like, I do trainings. It's nice if you hop on a training and ask me questions, and we can talk. Oh my goodness, awesome. We can communicate. Other than that, so that's the best way to keep in contact with me so I can keep in contact with you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here. And everybody, thank you so much for watching. And check out your inboxes for the next session. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.